I thought you were introducing me.
All right, so we're going to talk about the game that we just saw, which
Chelsea versus Wolverhampton. I was cheering for Wolverhampton. So was Daddy. Our whole family was.
I'm not sure about Mommy.
Maybe. But I think Wolverhampton has done very well this season. They were in the lower division and they just got up and now they are in 7th place, which I think is really good.
I agree. So it was a good game. Wolverhampton really was absorbing a lot of the pressure and just waiting to hit on the counter because they're so effective on the break. And yeah, I mean, what did you think about it, Jack?
Well, I think the Wolves' strategy was really they were staying very defensive, and then, like you said, they'd go on the counterattack. So, it's a bit crazy. 'Cause one part in that game, some people were trying to defend the hit, like the kick, and they accidentally hit heads, which was actually really bad, and medics had to come on to the field, which was a little worrisome. But on from, so let's go. In the 22nd minute, Jorginho did a really nice flick that I thought was really good, and Chelsea almost ended up scoring. And let's talk a little about Chelsea right now. So, Dad, what do we think about...
Well, Chelsea's been, they were top 4 and now they're down to 6. They had some huge blowouts, but the last couple of games they seem to be pulling things together a bit. They have Higuain, who's been, decent, but not really
his level of playing.
Much improvement over Morata. And yeah, but now it looks like another kind of poor performance by Chelsea.
Yeah.
They just didn't do enough. They didn't have enough penetrative pressure to really get through the Wolves' defense. And
they kind of just standed there almost.
And they were lined up against an opponent in the Wolves that really, were prepared to be ultra defensive and just hit on the counter.
Yeah.
And when they did hit on the counter,
they were very effective.
Yeah, and there was some really nice touches when they hit on the counter.
Yes.
Martinez was really effective up top. And
yeah. So what do you think about Conte and Jorginho switching their position? Well, not switching, but Jorginho being the defensive center mid and Conte going to the wing. Do you think that they're doing better like that, or do you think Conte should come back to the defensive?
I don't know. Conte's the best at the defensive center mid in the Premier League, maybe in the world. And I know it's that way, so Jorginho can get in there, but I don't know. I would. Yeah. I think they should mix things up. Put Conte back there. Maybe have Jorginho go on the wing. Or maybe have Jorginho sit out and have Willian. Trying to get some. Particularly against the Wolves, because they needed more offensive oomph. And that happened a little bit when they brought in Loftus-Cheek, because Loftus-Cheek is a guy that tries to kind of beat a player, that tries to go around a player. And so he did that, a couple times. Whereas, Jorginho's not that player to beat someone on the dribble. And I think they were a little bit over-reliant on just, David Luiz just hitting these long balls. And he hit a couple really nice long balls.
And some of them just kind of went to the other team.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about that handball when the first time Wolves scored? It just hit his hand and then they scored. That would have been such a nice goal, right?
On whose handball?
The Wolverhamptons.
I didn't think it was a handball.
Yeah,
it really didn't look like an intentional handball to me.
I don't think it was an intentional handball, but they did call it. So, what did you think about when the guy was trying in the Wolves and one of the Wolverhampton players was trying to clear it and he hit it and it hit his hand and then his arm and then he hit it inside their penalty box? Do you think that should have been a penalty, or do you think?
No, that would have been a bit harsh. For me, I really think there has to be a little bit of intention there, and I didn't see any intent.
Yeah. So, the Wolverhampton went up first. They were winning until the last bit when Chelsea scored the last goal in.
Yeah, it was it was in extra time when Chelsea finally scored. Hazard, beautiful shot there.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier, when Hazard was fouled just outside the box. I mean, that was kind of touch and go. That could have been dangerous, just another foot or so, and that would have been inside the box. And I had to say, Rudiger's challenge on, I think it was Diego Jota.
Yes.
Where he basically just stopped moving and just, went in for the tackle. That was deserving of a yellow. But it would have been nice to, if he'd been able to just, dink the ball around him and go in. With Rudiger being so flat-footed. Awful challenge by Rudiger, well-deserved yellow card.
So right after Wolves' goal, Chelsea had a corner kick, and Higuain was on the end, and one of the Wolverhampton guys had headed it, but it was right down on the ground, and Higuain just missed it. Do you think Higuain could have maybe hit it?
Yeah,
because his level of player is
he was right there. I mean, he's going to be ruining that chance, but he was right there. He could have touched it, but I mean, when you think about it, between
it is
that,
very hard.
Yeah, between that and a couple of the shots, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of shots that Rui Patricio needed to handle. I mean, over the course of the game, that was one who was just inches away from Higuain being able to poke that in. So,
I think that Willem should have started the game. Do you think that too, with Wolves being very defensive? Or should have come on earlier?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sarri needs to mix things up a bit and not rely on Jorginho all the time. And I think a lot of Chelsea fans feel that way about Jorginho. But particularly, I mean, facing someone like the Wolves, they need to
have a bit more oomph and switch things up a bit. Like, you can't just go into the same formation every single time unless it almost works every single time. But the formation that Chelsea is doing is not working every single time, and they need to switch it up a bit.
Agreed.
So, what did you think about Gibbs White coming on? Do you think he impacted the game in any way?
They Wolverhampton waited to make their changes till later. When they brought in their changers, it was to kind of replace their two front guys, just to make sure that they had energy to maybe hit on the counter. Gibbs White was good. He wasn't on for a whole lot, but he certainly did bring pace, and that one run that he did, where he had that great touch around, that was pretty fantastic.
So, what did you think about Raul Patricio's save? he plays on. He's the goalkeeper for Portugal. What did you think about his save right at the end?
Good. It was good. Good save. This was just before the Chelsea goal, and then of course they got the goal. Mm-hmm. And they just tied it up, and they just saved themselves a couple of points with that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I personally think that Chelsea didn't play that well, and I felt like Wolves did very well, and I think that Wolves deserved to win. Maybe Chelsea deserved to win, but I think maybe if they really deserved to win, maybe they would have had Willem on a bit faster.
Yeah. Good point. All right, well, it was a good game.
Yep.
You have any final thoughts?
Nope.
I'm just excited to see Wolverhampton. And again, I'd like to see them get into the top 6. If they could do that by the end of the year, that would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, from coming out from the bottom division to basically taking out, being ahead of Crystal Palace, Newcastle, and all those other places, or all those other teams, and being in one of the tops, that is very impressive.
Yeah, I think the highest they've ever been is 15th before, when they've been in the Premier League. That's the highest they've ever finished, and now they're already in 7th. And creeping in on the top 6, so watch out.
Yep.
All right,
and
guys.
I would hope to get them into the top 4, maybe, just because I really like them. And if they can win all of their games, maybe they can get it in. Though it is a bit unlikely because there's so many great teams in the Premier League.
Yeah, lots of good blocks from Wolverhampton. We'll see what they do in their next game.
Yep.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for
watching.
Talk to you later. Bye.